societies, alcohol is considered a socially acceptable drug, with little or no thought given to its harmful effects on the body or to its addictive potential. In fact, alcohol is the most common, inexpensive, and most abused drug in the world. Now, probably everyone viewing this film has at least tasted a drink containing alcohol and been in the company of people who were drinking. But the question of whether or not to drink is a decision each individual must make for himself. Now, you'd probably be better off psychologically and physically by not drinking. But if you do decide to drink, then at least you should know how much is too much. The human brain is like an incredible machine, continuously monitoring the internal and external environment. It senses many things like hunger, thirst, and fatigue. But because of the delayed action of alcohol on the central nervous system, when we first begin to feel we're getting high, the full impact of the effect is still to come. So, to better understand how much is too much, let's learn some of the important facts about this drug. A part of our society that 2 out of every 3 13-year-olds have had some experience with alcohol. In fact, with millions of drinks consumed daily, the sale of alcoholic beverages is a multi-billion-dollar-a-year industry. Alcohol has become our #1 national drug. When used in excess, alcohol can destroy health and life. It can become a disease for which the only cure is total abstinence. Now, just what is alcohol anyway? Well, the type used in wine, whiskey, and beer, and some medicines, is called ethanol, or beverage alcohol. As a drug, alcohol gives the illusion of being a stimulant because it selectively depresses brain centers which control inhibitions and restraints. Actually, alcohol is a sedative, a downer. It slows down the brain and makes some people feel drowsy and exhilarated and uninhibited. Or, if you should drink significantly too much, it can kill you. Remember, it's a drug. We hear a lot about drug addicts and junkies, but more Americans have problems with alcohol than with any other drug. Nutritionally, alcohol can be classified as food, because it supplies the body with energy, about 75 calories per ounce. But these are empty calories, without vitamins, minerals, or other essential nutrients, which is a good reason in itself not to drink, or at least to drink in moderation. Besides, alcohol doesn't need to be digested in the stomach. It's almost immediately absorbed by the stomach and small intestine, and carried into the bloodstream throughout the body. By gulping a drink rapidly, we enhance absorption, causing a higher blood level of alcohol. In addition to drinking faster than normal, drinking on an empty stomach will cause the effects of alcohol to be felt more rapidly, because the absorption rate is increased. On the other hand, when our stomach contains food, especially starches and proteins, the absorption rate is slowed and the effects are lessened. Body weight and size is an important factor which influences the concentration of alcohol in the blood. Given the same amounts of alcohol, a small, light person will feel the effects before a large, heavy person. The larger person has more blood volume to dilute the alcohol, and thus a lower concentration is produced. Many of us think we have our own surefire ways to sober up, like coffee, a cold shower, fresh air, exercise. But the only thing that really works is time. The only way our bodies can get rid of virtually all the alcohol we drink is to metabolize or burn it up. This happens through a series of time-consuming chemical reactions. It's safe to figure about an hour for a can of beer, and about the same for 1 ounce of alcohol. Whether the alcohol was consumed straight or diluted with a mix will also influence the speed of absorption. The law requires that alcoholic beverages be labeled with percentage or proof markings. The proof figure indicates twice the actual percentage of alcohol. For example, 94 proof whiskey is 47% alcohol by volume. Some beverages, like wine, might print the alcohol content in percentage. The alcohol content can be diluted by mixing a drink with water, sodas, juices, or soft drinks. But that does not eliminate the effects of the alcohol. It simply delays the effects. Mixing drinks, like beer and whiskey, adds to the effects of alcohol, and it becomes especially dangerous when alcohol is mixed with pills. Drugs obtained by a doctor's prescription or over the counter at a pharmacy both have their own effects. Add alcohol, and the results can be deadly. People can develop a dependence on alcohol. When this happens, we call that person an alcoholic or a problem drinker.
Problem drinkers are just as the name implies. Their drinking causes problems for themselves and for other people. Problem drinkers are those who can't fall asleep at night without taking several drinks, or who go to school or work in the morning drunk or high, and drink too much and then get in their cars and drive, or drink and get into fights and arguments. Drinking impairs their health. They may drink to escape from personal problems, and they sometimes drink before meeting other people, and they drink secretly.
Alcoholism has little to do with one's personality. It's a disease. And though it takes years of steady drinking to turn some adults into alcoholics, it can take only a few months for some young people.
My first experience with alcohol was when I was about 5 years old. I used to go to the bars with my mother.
Well, I first started drinking at the age of 5. I had a first sip of beer from my dad.
And I would sit there, and when she would turn around and walk off, I would take her drink. And I remember she used to give us alcohol when we had a cold, and it was always brandy, but I liked alcohol then. And my idea, even as a child, was to grow up real quick and drink.
My mom always said that the yeast was good in the beer, and it'd be good, you know. And the obsession started for me to drink at that age because I liked the feeling that the drug alcohol gave me.
We would always meet after school and then go and party at somebody's house, and I drank every day for a lot of years.
I progressed around 13 or 14. I was drinking a bottle of whiskey a day.
You know, I used to end up in hospitals, and I didn't know what was wrong. I didn't know that it was the alcohol. I thought it was. I blamed it on everything else, and I didn't know that that was my problem.
I started cutting school to go and drink and getting drunk around 9th grade. I was 14, 13.
About 8th grade, I just couldn't stop, and so I just kind of threw in the towel and went with it, and just kind of hoped that I would either end up dead, and that was my goal.
I wound up in jail through the use of alcohol and a lot of things, you know. I don't have to do those things today throughout, you know, the program that I go through.
About 18 years old, I found help.
I've been sober for a year, almost 13 months now, and I've really enjoyed being sober, you know. The absence of alcohol is, it's all right, you know.
I'm glad to be sober and to be able to live now and to enjoy life.
School's getting better. I graduated from school, you know, where I was able to get a driver's license and things like that because I wasn't drinking. And I was able to go through the classes to get it. And so it's really worked out fine.
Alcoholism can affect anyone. 1 out of every 10 drinkers is an alcoholic or a problem drinker. Most problem drinkers are people who seem to lead normal lives. They can be husbands, mothers, or our friends. Heavy and prolonged use of alcohol destroys the tissues in the brain and causes a toxic effect on the heart and liver. Now, long-term overindulgence will affect every body part. Since alcohol is a depressant, it can slow down respiration until one becomes unconscious or dies.
And these applicants you can see, assistants we've been reading ever since the beginning of the call. We've had 50 of D50 and 20 of the
Okay, let's get a doctor in here and get him a tube.
Okay.
Each person's reaction to alcohol is different. When some people drink too much, their speech may be slurred. They may feel dizzy and nauseous. Their vision blurs and they have trouble walking in a straight line. They stumble, fall asleep, or pass out, or worse, have an accident. Drunk drivers account for 1/2 of the 50,000 fatal traffic accidents which occur annually. That's right, 50%. teenagers, the percentage is even higher than the national average. Drunk driving is the leading killer of young people. That's one of the reasons insurance rates are so high for this age group. The reason for the high accident rate is that alcohol impairs one's ability to sense, decide, and act, all of which are basic to safe driving skills. The decision to drink is personal. The choice of how much should be one of maturity, experience, and common sense in knowing how much is too much. If you drink, don't drive, because your decision to get behind the wheel of a car affects more than just your life. Alcohol and driving don't mix. Because intoxicated drivers have caused so much loss of life and property, police departments throughout the country have adopted a get tough policy. Drivers under the influence of intoxicants can't hide from anybody on the road, least of all the police. They're trained to recognize erratic driving patterns such as weaving in and out of traffic, drifting across lanes, failure to yield to traffic control signs or pedestrians, and often excess speed. Policemen are also trained to look for signs of alcohol intoxication, things the driver can't hide, like the odor of alcohol, bloodshot eyes, slurred speech, and lack of coordination in presenting his driver's license and vehicle registration.
Hey, sir, I want you to step out of your car, please. Come on back over here to the rear of your car, my partner.
Anyone suspected of driving under the influence of alcohol can be stopped and asked to perform some simple sobriety tests.
Anything to drink tonight? I want you to blow in my face. Okay, I'm going to demonstrate some field sobriety tests for you, okay? I want you to pay attention to me, all right? I want you to put your feet together, your toes and your heels together. Extend both arms out, extending your index fingers. Okay? Your index fingers. I want you to close your eyes and tilt your head back. Tilt your head back.
Even if the driver passes the on-site test, the officer may still arrest him and ask the suspect to take one of 3 sobriety tests at the police station.
Right finger and touch it to the tip of your nose.
There, he'll be given his choice of having his breath, blood, or urine analyzed. In most states, the legal intoxication level is minimal. A few drinks and you may exceed the limit established by the law.
Touch the tip of your nose. Right on the tip there, Michael. Okay, extend.
Being arrested is an unpleasant experience.
Michael, we're detaining you for driving under the influence of alcohol.
But I haven't had that much to drink.
All right, lean over against the scanner here. Spark your legs, Michael. Why don't we go ahead and get started on the inventory, all right? What's your date of birth, Michael?
May 1st, 1904.
Were you born?
Chicago.
By law, Michael, you're required to take one of 3 chemical tests. The blood test, the urine test, and the breath test. Which test do you want to take?
I think the breath one.
Just blow real hard when I tell you to do this. Okay? Blow real hard into that machine. Okay, that's fine.
Quarter point.
2 to 3.
Okay, partner, he's definitely under the influence. Let's go ahead and lock him up and call his parents.
Okay.
Come on, what do we do now? Yeah, how long am I staying here?
Till your parents come and get you.
Hello? Yes? He's where? All right, I'll be right down. If and when you decide to take a drink, remember that you're really taking a drug. Keep in mind that your decision to drink can affect your life and that of others. So know your limit. Know how much alcohol is too much.